Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to this Odoo experience talk about the way to manage online appointments with Odoo, obviously. Let's start by reviewing together a small fact. Did you know that 55 million meetings take place every day in the United States of America? This is an estimate that was provided by Steven Rogelberg from the University of North Carolina, and he computed that for the year of 2019. It's huge, right? Now, let's ask the question to yourself, how many meetings do you have per day, or maybe per week? Maybe you have 10, 15, or even 20 meetings per week. And how do you schedule these meetings? Do you still do it through phone calls? Or do you maybe send mails? You see that type of email where you give 3 meeting proposals and then you send that to your customer, you wait 2 days for them to reply, and when they reply, bad luck, you are no longer available at the desired slot. So you have to send one more mail back, and so on, and you're just losing time to schedule that meeting. In fact, if scheduling a meeting would take you only 5 minutes of your time, it's not that much, but you might be losing maybe 1 hour of your week just to schedule meetings. What an inefficient way of working, right? My name is Alain de Permentier. I'm business advisor here at Odoo in Belgium, and I will show you how you can save time by scheduling your meetings and appointments with Odoo online appointments. And since we are already at this 16th version of this wonderful software, well, I will start to give you a few hints about the new features that have just been released. Then we'll deep dive all together into the software, and I will do a small demonstration of these new features. And finally, I will give you the opportunity to ask all your questions in the chat, and I will answer them. Let's now go into the new features of Odoo 16. First thing is that we introduced this brand new configuration panel. It's the blue ribbon that you see here. It's actually designed to get you started super easily when connecting for the first time on the online appointments. And you have 3 steps. First step is to set your availabilities. We'll do that together in the demonstration. Second step is to get your meeting link. So actually, in the end, you will receive a link. And from this link, it's an URL. You can, for instance, copy-paste it in your email signature, or even better, make it an hyperlink. And when your clients will receive, for instance, but you will receive an email from you, they can just click on that link and automatically be redirected to your calendar for which they can book a meeting with you. And last but not least, Odoo synchronizes natively with Google Calendar and with the Outlook calendar, and it works both ways. So it synchronizes from Odoo to Outlook and from Google, and from Google Outlook to Odoo as well. And Odoo provides you a very useful tool to help you to set up the configuration. Second new feature is the multi-user scheduling, which has been made easier. Because maybe you are working as a team, as we do here in Odoo, for instance. Let's imagine that you want to book a demonstration with one of our salesperson, and that your favorite salesperson is not available. You can still book a demonstration with one of his or her colleague, which is available at this moment. And to do that, to actually set up that, we have now a very useful feature, which is called restrict to users. So you can actually, by slot here, define who is available to which slot. Still in this idea of working as a team and helping you to work as a team, we improved the design of a website for your customers. So when they connect on the Odoo website, they go to the appointment page, they will now see this brand new design with actually the possibility to choose to have the meeting either with me or either with one of my colleagues, for instance. And if he or she doesn't really care, you can just go to this button and see all availabilities, and then all the availabilities of the different users are combined, and Odoo will automatically apply give the meeting to a certain person who is a certain of your employee who is available at that time. And also here you see, you probably noticed that you have the possibility to show profile pictures. So it improves the user experience of your customers. When they will connect on the website, they will already see with who they will have the meeting. So that's very nice. And last but not least, Today, meetings are now perfectly integrated with Odoo CRM. And this is actually coming from a feedback that you, or the audience, did last time. It was last year at the Odoo experience as well. For the same talk, someone mentioned in the chat that meetings were not perfectly integrated with the CRM. Meetings generated with from an opportunity in the CRM were not perfectly integrated with this smart button. Now it's the case, and we'll see that together. So here we are. Let's now go directly into the software. But just before that, imagine that you are a sales representative at Odoo, congratulations, and that you want to set up an online appointment link to book technical demonstrations. And we'll see that it's very easily done with Odoo. Let's go to the database. So here I selected a few modules. The online appointment app is integrated into the calendar app, and it works very well as a standalone application. Obviously, it also works very fine when you combine it with CRM or the website application. Let's go to the calendar here, and you recognize this new blue ribbon, the new configuration panel, onboarding panel. And what we're going to do is first set a first appointment time. Here it could be, for instance, a technical demonstration for a sales representative. You can define the duration. Here it's 1 hour. Define some scheduling rules, because maybe you don't want your customer to book a meeting more than 45 days in advance with you. That's perfectly feasible with you as well. And obviously allow your customers to eventually cancel that before the meeting. Here you see that we have the different users. So here for this technical demonstration, it will be either with me or my colleague Mark. And you can either let your customer choose with who they will have the meeting, or eventually just ask Odoo to assign meetings or appointments to your users, to your employees randomly. And again, the picture is a very nice feature, but if you don't want to use it, you are not obliged to use it, obviously. Now we have the list of availabilities, and to create a new availability, well, it's very, very easy. Let's assume that we want to assign a slot on Saturday morning, here at 9 to 12, could be. Here we are. And since I don't want to work on Saturday, I will assign that to my colleague Mark. I'm a nice colleague, right? Let's go into the options. What you can do is define time zone. Here, in this case, is Brussels, and eventually a location, so the place where the meeting will take place. If it's empty, Odoo will consider that by default it's an online meeting and will generate automatically a meeting link from the Odoo meeting module directly, or Odoo Discuss module, directly on the invitation. So when your client will receive the confirmation of the appointment, he or she will see as well the appointment link. And then, since Odoo online appointments is synchronized with the Odoo CRM, you can create opportunities. So for instance, if every time someone is booking a technical demonstration with you, you can ask Odoo to generate an opportunity in your CRM. Notifications and reminders by notification are still there, obviously. Then some little question, because here maybe you want, booking an appointment with you is very nice, but you also want to know more about the people who are booking with you. So here, for instance, still in the case of this sales representative, you can ask some questions. And here the question, for instance, is what is the company name? And then you have the type of answer that you expect. Let's create another one. Let's assume here that you want to know how many people are there in the company. How many people in your company? Your typing skills are not that great today. You can eventually select already put a placeholder, giving already kind of an answer of it, or define here the type of answer. Here it should be a single line text, that's enough. But if, for instance, you want to do a radio and put between forks between 5 and 10 users, between 10 and 15 users, this is something that you can easily do as well. For now, let's keep it as an open question with a single line text answer. Here we are, that's done. Last but not least, the messages. Here you have the introduction message, which is just a small explanation of what will be the topic of the meeting that you give for your client. and an extra message on confirmation. So when they book, they will just receive a small request. We thank you for your request. Looking forward to meet you soon. And that's it. First step done. Very easily, very fast. Second step is, well, getting your link. As I said, we receive the link. You can customize it if you wish. You copy paste and you close it. And then you can use it, for instance, in your email signature. And last but not least, you can connect with your beloved Outlook or Google Calendar. And what you have to do is just ask Google or go on Google to have your client ID, your client key, put that in Odoo, and the synchronization, is done natively. Here we are, very easily. Now, let's see that working from the website app. When we go to the website, here I have a website that I designed myself. It's the website of a software company that I call Odoo. Very creative, right? But it's obviously not the official Odoo website. I just created myself using the Odoo website tool. What I can do is go to this button Schedule Appointment, which is redirecting to the online appointment that we created together. Here you see that I can choose, for instance, to work with Alan or Mark. Let's move forward with Alan. And you see here that Alan is not available on Saturdays. This is because we have this restricted user. If I go back to the operator selection and go for Mark, well, you see that obviously Mark is available on Saturday. So I can move forward, book a meeting, or you know what, let's go with Alan anyway. And let's say we'll do that for Friday. Friday, Alan is available at 2 p.m. Here we are, define my name. It will be John, for instance. Here we are, email address, phone number, company name, as Odoo. How did I hear about Odoo? Let's say internet, describe your needs. I need online appointments. Appointments. Here we are. And how many people in my company? And you see there is no star at this question because it's not a mandatory question, so I can leave it blank if I wish. And now it's done. The appointment is confirmed. So what Odoo will do for you automatically is send a recap to your customer on his email, send a recap to your email address as well, generate for you a meeting link, the famous Odoo Discuss meeting link that will be generated automatically. And last but not least, put that in your Odoo calendar, which will natively synchronize with Outlook or Google. And that's done. Very simple. Now let's do maybe a second example, which is very useful for salespeople or eventually consultants. Here, take the case still of our sales representative working with the Odoo CRM. In the Odoo CRM, you have different opportunities. As you know, you go to one opportunity and you want to schedule a meeting with this customer, okay? So you just go to the Meeting Smart button, which will redirect you to the Odoo calendar. Here you can remove the filter to see when you are available, and you can decide to share your availabilities with your customer. So here you won't give the link because the link is up to 45 days, and maybe you just want to schedule a meeting for this week. So you will give a few slots, a few proposals. Okay, that's fine for this Friday. You get the share link, you send that to your customer by email, and when you go to a new tab, here we are, that's what your customer sees. He will see exactly the same display that we had before with the appointment link. It's just that it's now very specific for you. You have several propositions. Could be that the proposition that you define. And when he validates, confirm the appointment, arrive to the same page, and for you in your CRM, in this meeting Smart button, the meeting will be directly linked. And we can close this and go back here. Here we are. We have the CRM, as was said, in the meeting here, we have a little one here. And when we click, we directly see when we have the meeting with these customers. If you have several meetings, all the meetings with these customers will be displayed here. Last but not least, when you go to the calendar, you have the opportunity to do some analytics on your online appointments or your appointments. Just go by the reporting feature. You go to the reporting, online appointments. First thing you do is, for instance, define a filter. What you want to see is a date, is October, September. Let's move it for October. Then second thing you can do is group by. Let's, for instance, you want to group by responsible, so to see a kind of repartition of the meeting between Mark and between Alan. And then you want to see that as a graph. And you see that very easily we have the information which is displayed as a graph. You see that I did 5 meetings while I have 5 meetings booked, while my colleague Mark has only 2. We can display the same information in a pivot table, download that here as an XLSX file that can be used for you at a later stage. And you can also insert this in an Odoo spreadsheet to make it a dynamic spreadsheet. So that was all for me. As you see, scheduling appointment links with Odoo is very easily. It can save you a lot of time. So if we sum it up, appointments is there to save yourself time. Is there as well to reduce errors due to this, delay in answer emails and so on, and synchronizes natively with Outlook calendars and Google calendars as well. That was all for me. Thank you very much for your attention. If you have any question, please feel free to write them in the pad, or eventually to send them to me directly at my email address, aldp@odoo.com. And I wish you a very nice Odoo experience event, and see you soon. Bye-bye. Let's now go to this pad. Just here. No, not here. Here. Okay, some questions already. Attendees questions. So, if I send the same meeting link to 2 different people, can they book both at the same time slot? No, obviously not. So you can send the same meeting link to 2 different people, but it synchronizes with your current calendar. So as we said, it's synchronized with Outlook, for instance. So if you enter manually yourself a meeting in your Outlook calendar, well, the spot that you have sent before is no longer available. So it's fully synchronized. Makes sense, obviously. Other than salespeople, who could you use the appointment app? Salesperson was just an example. Here, it's really dedicated to everyone who has meeting. So if you have some meetings and you need to schedule these meetings during your week, well, basically this app is for you. Can be for salespeople, but can be also for teachers, can be for consultants. Odoo, as I said, it also works with the project app, directly from the project app, as we did in the CRM. So yeah, it works also for doctors as well. So really everyone who needs to schedule meetings. Could the appointment app be also useful for another use case, hairdresser with the same efficiency? Yeah, exactly. It's what we mentioned. Hairdresser is a very good example. If you don't want to spend your time on the phone, well, just very easy. You give this meeting link to your clients. Can an SMS be sent to the customer to confirm the meeting? Yes, that's an integration with email marketing and SMS marketing, which is embedded in email marketing as well. And do I always have to check my Odoo calendar to see the meetings that have been scheduled? No. First of all, you will receive a confirmation by mail, so you don't have to check it to see when you receive some meetings. You can receive some confirmation by notification as well, and it synchronizes with your beloved calendar, or either you are using the Outlook calendar as your main calendar, either you will just check in your current calendar what are the meetings that have been scheduled. If an employee is on holiday, can we still book a meeting with him? Yes, obviously, it's integrated in leaves. So when you actually create a leave and record a leave in the time of application, this will directly go to the calendar and actually prevent, well, anyone from taking an appointment with you on that date. We'll consider that you are busy, actually. Is there an integration with third-party meeting apps? Not by default. I mean, when I say not by default, it's not in standard. So for now, what the Odoo link that is sent, the meeting link that is sent, is an Odoo discuss meeting link. How can someone cancel a meeting? How long before the meeting starts? That's defined in the parameters. As I said, you can schedule define some scheduling rules. So you can say, okay, you don't have to, or you cannot book more than 45 days in advance, or less than more than 45 days in advance, and not less than 1 day in advance, for instance. Is the time spent on meeting automatically updated on timesheets? That's a good question. No, it's not. Could be an interesting integration, but by default, it's not. If you have another meeting, no, not Odoo appointment. Odoo shows you available to an appointment. No, again, as long as it's synchronized, as long as you synchronize with your main calendar, so Outlook, Google, no, it doesn't show you available. Is there an integration with iCal? Not yet, but what you have now is you have this button, which is, as I showed you last time, click on iCal, and if you are an Odoo user, you will receive this confirmation as well. So that could be a good turnaround to click on this iCal button. Google Meet, yeah, we answered the question already. Hi to you. Can you actually make Odoo check that there is no other meeting in your agenda, like Calendly, or you can book me do? So you have time slots, but example, you do have internal meetings. That time slot will be automatically hidden because you accept a different meeting at the same time. I'm not exactly sure to understand your question. Okay, basically, I think the question is, if you are already busy at that time, will Odoo enable you to or allow your clients to still book a meeting with you? No. Can Google meeting links with the appointment for virtual meetings? No, not yet in the standard version of Odoo. Does it support real-time push notifications? Yes. So you can define, if that's your question, so if your question is, can some reminders be set automatically before 5 minutes before the meeting? Yes, can be done. And you will see that on your Odoo dashboard, Odoo interface as well. Can you have different locations? Not to my knowledge on the same meeting link. So but if you have different locations, I mean, I assume that here when you say different locations is locations for your for you, not for your clients, then you will probably need to create different appointment links. Has the stability of synchronization with Gmail and Outlook been improved from V16? I'll refer to Fabien's speech about performance, so I guess the answer is there. Can we accept or decline the meeting? Yes. So actually, by default, it will be accepted, but if you want to refuse it at some point for any reason, you can just go to your calendar and refuse the meeting at this stage. How do you reply to meetings from Odoo in a chatter? That's actually a good question. We need to check. If you want to deep dive into that together, we can do it at the end of the session. Can we take an appointment for someone else in the company? For instance, the assistant of her director. I don't really understand what case you are mentioning here. Again, we could discuss that together. Does the client, someone is writing here, does the client need to download any software to attend a video call? No, it's fully SaaS. So it's just like Google Meet, for instance. When you click, you receive that link. You click on that, or you click on that link, and directly you are connected to this page. And there is also a chatter to exchange messages with that person. And obviously, you can yourself invite some more people in the same meeting that has been generated. So if someone you want to, for instance, you want to invite one of your colleagues, you can do it as well, or an external person, you can do it as well. What if it's an hybrid appointment? In person and virtual. Will Odoo only generate the link for the virtual meeting if location field is empty? Or can you add it manual? You can always add it manually afterwards, that's for sure. Since there is a scale management in V16, are you planning to use it on appointment? I think that should be discussed separately. An update, can you have 2 different locations per time slot? For instance, we are at office 2 days a week, but take online meetings every day, okay? So can the customer choose both at these 2 days? It's a bit difficult to understand the question. Can you have different locations per time slot? So no, that's what I said before. But for example, you have to see here. Either you will have to schedule 2 meetings, you have to define 2 meeting links, but for sure 1 meeting link is is linked to one single location. Can you invite many guests to the same meeting? Yes. Yes, for sure. Okay. I think we covered all these questions. Oh, that's all. I think we can close there for me. Feel free to exchange at a later stage, and I wish you a very nice Odoo experience. Thank you very much.